Series 5 changed your brain chemistry when you were a teenager, and sadly there's no going back. You might be a Douglas Adams fan, but this one is so good that familiarity with his work isn't required. You are a Douglas Adams fan, and were likely insulted when I just said that familiarity with his work isn't required. You can trace being a Cybermen fan back to your memories of watching this as a kid. You will never forgive Time Flight. Or Poor Mars. You think that if Classic Who's pacing bothers anyone, that's just a skill issue. You think contrarianism is for people who have the energy for it, and that energy could be better spent hating the which is familiar. You're outspoken politically. You are a lot of fun at parties. You are Rob Shearman. You are not Rob Shearman. You are in your 40s, and no one will ever dethrone Tom Baker in your eyes. You insist that the 10th Doctor is an interesting character and you hate the Matt Smith era. You insist that the 5th Doctor is an interesting character and you hate the end of time. The existential dread of this episode is nothing compared to the conflict you feel for finding the 10th Doctor overrated, yet still rating the RTD era higher than most of what has come since. You think the inclusion of River Song can improve anything, even the 10th Doctor. You hate Twitter. You want to write for the show. That could go for any of these, but you really want to write for the show. You respond to every bit of big political news with that meme of Wilf saying, "It's happening again." You love a happy ending, but it has to be earned. And you feel Moffat lost his way somewhere around Series 6. You believe Moffat got good again around the time of the 50th, and you're very likely to scream "fuck wiki pages" into the sky. You will defend the Capaldi era to your last breath. You will defend the Capaldi era to your opponent's last breath. You're not a big fan of his era, but Capaldi is your favourite Doctor. It's also fairly likely you're queer. You are a very sweet person, and you deserve all the hugs. You're a piece of shit! You've had a lot of arguments about what a chosen one is. You've had a lot of arguments about what queer baiting is. You've had a lot of arguments about whether the universe is still around. You've had a lot of arguments about the 60th. It has to be here somewhere. It has to be here! You might be depressed, but at least there's the reconstructions. You're still depressed, but at least there's the VNAs. You have high moral standards for your media, Doctor Who especially, so the discourse around this episode is all the more frustrating. But at least there's Constellation.
Oh shit.